Good morning, welcome to Cord Art. As you can see, I've got an array of different styled flowers than what I made last, and today is to have a look at how we make one of these. Let's just bring one forward. That's one of my favourites. It's a Paracord mat, but then added to it. The main bulk of it is quite easy to make. It's all the bits and pieces, the leaves, the binding, bits and pieces in the middle. But I'm going to go through it stage by stage. We're going to start off by doing the carrot part of it, and I'm going to be doing that in white and a sort of a mauvey colour, the same mauve as what's on this one. So let's have a look at that one. We're sticking back there. We've got an audience today of my freshly carved elderberry owl. He's just going to keep on an eye on affairs. So what do we need? We need 5 feet of 550. Now I've mounted one end over and I've put a fid on the other end. I've shown this in my last video on how when we made the other flowers, but to make this carrot mat, which we're going to make first, if you don't know how to make a carrot mat, then you might as well jump forward and go and then catch up with us a bit later in the tutorial. But all we've done is come over the top. We've got a loop about 1.5 inches, about 1.5 inches there. We're keeping them pressed together and we're coming back over. Yeah. So now this time we're going to go underneath this tail, like so. Yeah. That gives us those 2 little ears like that. And then with our fid, we're going to lock it all together. We've come under the tail this time. Was above the tail the first loop round. We're going to go over, under, over and pull through, and that will lock this home so that we don't have to hold it any longer, like so. Get the loops about the same size, like so. Now the little diamond down the bottom here, we're going to enter the flower, if I can get untangled. I'm going to enter the flower down through that little triangle there. Yep. Bring it through. So we got now four loops. Yeah. So we come up through there. Now we're going to follow through on the cable or cord. We're just going to do exactly what comes next on the cord. So we're going to come back up, following this cord here, this one, and that one then dives down underneath this one. So we're going to go down, pinch hold of what you've done already, because if you do pull or twist, it'll all stay in place. Yeah, we're going to come up the top there, doubling up that one, but it's got to come up through. I'll probably jump ahead a little bit on this. You don't want to listen to my dulcet tones right the way through making this carrot mat. But we'll just stay with it for a second, just doubling it all the way round. Someone asked if I'd show this process, so here we go. If you look at my tutorial on roses, it shows you how to do this. Might turn out to be a better option than what I'm showing you now, but rather than asking people to sort of jump from tutorial to tutorial, I thought I'd show it once again. So we're going around this for the second time now. And I want to go around 3 times. Could go 4, but 3 is enough for this. All of these flowers are 3. Up through the centre. Keeping them nice and neat. Now there's different variations of this flower. If you wanted to do all in white, then you'd probably need about 7 feet of cord. We're going to change colour on this one, so we've got 5 feet of white cord, and then I've got 2 feet of the lilac. And the reason that I want to show you the version of changing over, because it stands out and you can see the pattern a bit better. Plus I want a white flower anyway. I'm taking all these to the local church bazaar at the end of the month. That's why I've made 19 so far. I wanted to take 20, so this is number 20. And we're just coming up to finishing the second pass around this flower, or carrick mat. So we're going to come up now, and that's doubled right the way round, like so. We're going to delve down again to do the third one. There's the beginning of this one. Down through there. Take the twist out and follow around as we did with the second one. So we need to come up now through the centre. Down through there. Pinching again, just in case we pull it out of shape. Don't want to pull it out of shape. Up through again. Take advantage of this quiet moment. My wife's gone shopping. I haven't turned the phone off, so if it does go off, bear with me, I will turn it off. Coming round for the third time now, yeah. As I say, this is about 5 feet in length, this white. Don't be too worried if you've got one loop a bit bigger than the other, because we can do a little bit of re-manoeuvring like this now, so that they stay more or less the same size. So when we complete this, this is what people know as a carrick mat. I see it as the beginning of a flower. Down through there, pinching tight. Just about there now. As I say, 5 feet of this white. I've made it longer because I didn't want to be embarrassed online. So there we are, 3 passes all the way round, more or less the same size. Now what we're going to do is that tail there. If you can see that we have like 4 there now, so it's not needed. So we're going to just poke that down through the flower. It won't go anywhere. And that's going to be like so. Then we'll just make sure that we've got holes all where we need them. We're going to take the fid off the white now, and we're going to cut it short and melt on a piece of lilac. I say short, about a ½ inch long. And then there's our piece of lilac. I've got a good end and a bad end. When I say that, I mean I got one end prepared for a fid, so we'll put that on now. Take the other 2 ends, the end of the white, not that tail end, these 2 here, and we're going to melt them. And then quickly stick them together. So there we go. We're attached to now a lilac piece. See the tail sticking up there? We want the lilac piece to come up and between those 2. Yeah? When it's done that, we want to come round the loop. Not directly over the top of these 3. As I say, we've gone behind the tag, and then we're looking for this part here. So we come round there, yeah, like so. And then we're going to go down through that hole, like so. We're going to come back up again to the next loop. Go down through the hole. Up to the next loop. Down through the hole. And then the last one. Now as you come down the last one, what I like to do is miss this tail, keep to the right hand side of it, like so. So then we have each of those loops with a piece of this around it. Now the next time round, again we're going to come up, round like so, but rather than go through, get a pointer, rather than go through that hole, we're going to go down through there. So this pass around with the lilac, we're going to go down through there, down through there, and then we're going to work our way out as we progress. So that one's going to go down through there, like so, up round the top, down through there, through the first one out to the second one, yeah? So already starting to look fairly nice. This one goes to there, down through the first and second gap. And again. So as you can see, if we'd done 4 passes, we could have made it bigger. The only reason I don't go any bigger than these 3 is that it becomes quite weighty. So there we have 2 lilacs around the flower. Come up to the next one, go over the top, and we're going to go out between the 1, 2, second and third, down through there, like so. Up to that one, through there. To that one. Through. Like so. Bit of tidying up here and there. Now I'm going to snip some of these. Take the fid off. So we're going to cut short there. Cut short on our white tail. I try and melt them close together, and as the stem comes down the back it hides them. I'll show you. So we're going to have a stem coming down the back, and it's going to cover the two melted pieces down here, like so. So that's the flower's petals. Now, as you can see, what I've done with one of these is just do another double carrick knot in a different colour there. So I'm going to do one of those, and then we'll sort out how we actually do the centre part and the actual stalk and the flowers, and I'll come back to you. But I've just got to decide what sort of colour we want to actually go around there. I think a nice dark purple might be okay. If you do get trouble with these trying to jump over all over the place, just a touch of super glue here, 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 and it will keep them all in place. But I tend to try and get away with just leaving it as a natural looking flower. Come back to you shortly. Hi there. So since I last saw you, which seems like a second to you, but it's been an hour or so for me, I've completed that just by melting over. I think I showed that one. Then I went on to a purple. Now that's whole cord, it's not gutted. Some of these are gutted, these centre pieces, but this one I chose to keep as a whole cord. It's really down to the cord. Some cords are soft, some are more rigid, and this was a more softer cord, so I actually decided to do a 2-pass carrot, and then just as I did with these here, I've just gone round once, so it's stayed quite small, so that's going to be there like the 2-pass carrot, and then I've made 1-pass carrot knot band, and that's going to go in the centre there, like so. Now we need something to keep that all together, and it's the centre part of the flower. So we put those 3 there for the second. I've decided to do my centre in yellow because I've got a bit of spare yellow there. So about 2 feet of yellow. All we're going to do is a stop knot. Make sure I can see you on the line. So there's the stop knot. Round the finger, pull it through. Bring this one round and through. So we've got our diamond there. Yeah. Round this one, up through there. Round this one, up through there. bring it nice and shape, like so. So now we need to get rid of that loop, and we only want one cord coming down here. So let's have a look. Believe it's that one, which will, no, I'm wrong. It's that one, which will bring this end up to the knot, just inside of it. And then we'll follow through with that larger loop. Don't pull it too tight because that end's only just in there. Bring the slack around through the knot. And I'll join up with our top loop. We've pulled it through the right hand side, so we've now got to take all this down through this left hand side, and that one will be there, I believe. So pull that loop just into the knot. There's our stop knot. Could have been a little bit better, that one, but not too bad. So on this end we will now place the fid. We're going to go through the single carrot knot, through the double, or the converted double. I think the kids are quite loud outside at the moment. They'll quieten down shortly. And then lastly through the main petals. And that's the effect that I'm looking for. Now, each section of that will be touched with, in fact we'll do it now, just a touch of glue underneath that one there. Push that home. Touch of glue on this one. Don't think any glue came out the first time. Let's just check. We're winning now. We had a bit of a blockage. Bit on that one. Like so. And then tiny little bit there. Like so. So that's really the flower. All we've got to do now is change the stem. It's got to be green and it's got to be solid. So in the next section, once I've got a few bits and pieces ready, we'll go for making the stem and the leaves, do a bit of binding, and then we also insert a piece of wire into it. So come back to you on that one. So to finish this flower off, what we're going to do is cut the yellow stem at 11 inches. We're going to make sure that we can get hold of the inners. Now I've got a piece of wire here. Don't seem to know how to get it on. Here we go. Bent over at the end, and that's about 13 inches long. I'm going to hold on to those inners for dear life and push that curved part as far down as I can. And why won't it go the full way? Let me have a look. That's odd. Should just slip straight in. Ah, there we go. Gone straight in. So we've got a piece of wire now travelling up through the centre of that yellow cord. Just straighten it out a little bit. Where, as I say, that's 11 inches long, the yellow. We're going to pull it up about an inch so that we can cut the wire an inch less. Like so, and then the cord will come down over the wire. I'm going to heat the end up so it will take a fid. Like so. Now I've got a series of pieces of gutted green cord. Now this one's about 13 inches long. All I've done with it is just touch melted over one end because I didn't want it to fray. We're going to put that onto the fid. Now this green should be longer than the yellow. We're hoping. So I'm working that way, that green down the fid, and it's working its way down the yellow. Then we'll have a green stem. So that's just to the end there. It's all bulged up. So if we give it a good old push, hopefully we can get it to where we want it. Sometimes it only travels as far as the bend in the wire, which is a bit awkward, but you can get it to go where you want it to go. Well, that's as far as it's going to go. You can see that there's a little bit of yellow still sitting out. I'm not too fussed about that, not at all. I mean, if you was worried about it, you could put a stopper knot down through over the top in green, like I do on my roses. But no, I'm happy with that. So I'm taking the fid off the yellow. I think probably what's stopping it going is the fact that I heated up the end of the green slightly. But that's not too bad. You won't see that when it's done. So now what we'll do is we'll melt the yellow and the green together. Stop that coming off. Like so. We're going to put a touch, see I brought it down, I'd like to bring it down where we did the melting, so it comes down like so. Little touch of super glue just to keep it in position, nothing too major, like so. And then we've ended up with a green stem. Yeah. Super glue doesn't want to go off. It will do though. I mean, we've got to probably tart these up a little bit, fancy them up a little bit to make it look any good. And as I said, you can just touch here and there with super glue if you need to. So there we are, there's the stem. Now what we need is 2 7-inch pieces of gutted cord. The ends are just flattened over, melted and flattened over. The other 2 ends are made to take a fid, so melted and twisted. Then we're going to double one of these over to there. Yeah, that's going to make our leaf. Where we've got that pinched together, we just put a touch of super glue. And leave that one. Do the same with this one. Like so. And they're ready for use now. I've got a 2 foot piece of gutted cord here. Again, one end prepared for a fid, one end just flattened over. I can find my fid. There we go. Put the fid onto the green. I've said 2 feet, you get away with about 15 inches to be quite honest. Now what we're going to do is grab hold of the stem, lay that green along the stem, like so. About 3 or 4 inches onto it. We're going to twist it around the stem. We're not going to sort of twist it like that. We're going to go back on ourselves. Going to go back over this way. Try again. Right. Can you see that I've gone back on myself and I'm tying over the top of this end? I'm going around 4 times loosely. I want it nice and loose. So 3, 4. I'm going to come round, and where the other cord comes down, we're going to get our fid and just pass it up underneath. A little bit fiddly, but it will go. There you go. Fid underneath those 4. I tried to take it just over that cord, go over the cord and then up through. Bring that down. Like so. Still very loose. Just make sure it doesn't fall to bits on you. And we'll take the fid off that one. I'm going to get that short end now and bring it round to the back so that it actually goes up and down the back of the flower. Grab hold of one of our leaves, that slightly longer end that we made is going to go onto the fid. I'm going to put one in, hopefully we can see, one in this side of that cord and one in that side. Now what we do is we go under again like we did with the other cord, like so. Before we pull it fully home, we twist it. I don't know if I can show you. The short end wants to be up against the stem. Yeah? So we're going to bring that down inside that knot, like so. Only has to go about halfway down. It's gone right the way through on this one, but we take our fid off. Grab hold of the other leaf, with the fid, and as I said, we've got that leaf to that side, so I want this leaf with the short end nearest the stem on this side. hope you can see that. I'm just going to bend the stem out the way a little bit so I've got more control over the fid. Just twisting the fid round now so that the short end goes up into the knot. And there we go. Yeah, so we've got 2 leaves there. Now all that's needed is to get hold of that end and that end. Give it a little bit of a tug. Take our fid off. Before we've actually tightened it up completely, we can actually just position it where we want it. I'll bend the shaft of the stem back now. That still moves. I'm going to tighten it slightly more, just pulling that one and that one like so. Then going to cut this one off. Very short, short as you can get it. Cut the bottom one off. And that leaves us with that like so. We're going to then pull that up to where you actually want the leaves. I think that looks okay, just about like that. And that is the flower, as I see it, completed. I think it looks quite good. I'm just wondering what I can actually charge for one of those at the local fair, having in mind it is at the church. Probably not a lot, to be quite honest. A couple of pounds, maybe £2.50 in English money, which is probably about $3. But yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this. As I say, subscribe if you like, and we are associated with fully Paracord off, a group on Facebook, my group on Facebook. But if you'd like to see more things like this, then join us on YouTube and on my Facebook group, Paracord off. Thanks for watching. See you again.